Opinion disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed by Just Our Opinion podcast are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any of our sponsors. Any content provided by our guest or authors are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, anyone, or anything.
See, funny thing about love is you never really know when it's coming, but you better believe you'll know when it's there. True story. I must have been searching, though I wasn't looking for much. Checking out the scene, wasn't trying to get my numbers up. You know I keep it cool. I prefer to stay in the cut. Don't want no attention on me when I'm trying to shake the blues up off me. But then I saw your face, it caused my heart to race. Girl, you're looking like $1,000,000. Something about the way you strut your stuff. Oh, girl, you're fine as you wanna. What I'm supposed to do? Something told me got time to lose. Go ahead and bust a move. Funny thing about love, when it comes and goes, you never know. So you gotta keep your heart fixed, and you can be sure there's no cause and no cure. And if it wants you, oh, it'll come and find you. Fall back just a little. Don't wanna lead you on. Don't wanna push a feeling and make the feeling gone. You see, I got your number, but still I ain't used the phone, no. I let it breathe for a minute, baby. Next thing I know, you call. Damn. One thing I know about love, you never know when it's coming, but you sure know it when it does. Yeah. One thing I know about love, you might get what you ask for, so you better be sure it's what you want. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Funny thing about love, when it comes and goes, you never know. So you gotta keep your heart exposed, and you can be sure there's no cause and no cure. And when it wants you, oh, it'll come and find you. Yeah. One thing I know about love, you never know when it's coming, but you sure
Check,
know
1, 2.
when it does.
Check.
Yeah. One thing I know about love, you might get what you ask for, so you better be sure.
What's good?
Hello.
What's crack-a-lackin'?
Hello.
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 Welcome to
people?
Just Our Opinion with Robin.
Mike.
And Ty.
You was a little delayed on that.
Hey. Some days I'm short bus.
You were like, wait, is that my? That's me.
That's me.
And Ty.
And Ty. Wait a minute.
Man, today we are finally gonna discuss The Best Man, the final chapters.
Man, I've been waiting on this one.
Listen, I was trying to give everybody enough time to watch it. It came out during the holidays, and I know a lot of people are busy. I was trying to let all of those other folk get their opinions out, you know, before I go ahead and touch on some things, because I've noticed that I have an unpopular opinion on this thing. So I really can't wait to let you guys know what I really feel about this.
Absolutely.
I am going to drag some people that y'all are not going to expect me to drag.
Oh, wow.
I am going to be on some sides from this show that you're not going to expect me to actually be on.
Okay.
Because I rewatched it. So I watched it the first time during the holidays, like most people, and then I rewatched it. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to dive into this thing. Y'all ready, fellas?
Let's do
Yep.
it.
Let's go. Party me in my charm. You can't step to my throne. Damn, huh?
Like me, I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin, I just came here to win.
So you telling me I can't rap the intro no more?
Nope. They can hear us.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well.
Oh, hey, Jackie. She said, welcome back, Ty.
Nobody care that you back.
So we talking
Jackie
about
does.
The Best Man, the final chapters. Yeah, they made up, remember?
Oh.
She apologized,
Oh, okay.
you know, and they made up. They're friends now. So we talking about The Best Man, the final chapters. I'm excited. I'm really, really excited because I had to rewatch the series to kind of refreshen my strong opinions about some things.
okay.
And I came out with the same thoughts that I had the first time I watched it. So I'm really,
Okay.
really, really excited about that. But y'all know what time it is. Before we get started, I'm going to do this. I'm kind of diving in quickly because it's a lot to unpack from this show. So I want to give you guys the respect to have enough time to dive into this a little bit. So, but y'all know before we get started, we got to do what we do.
Yeah.
Right.
Y'all know it's time to share that page.
Share it.
Make sure y'all tell everybody that we talking about The Best Man final chapter. So, you know, people,
Dive in. Let's have fun.
Right.
let's all get into this conversation. Like, I don't want it to just be us. Let's all dive into this conversation. By the way, we got a comment from Ty and it says nobody cares that you're back.
You know, everybody have their haters.
So we gonna get this page shared. I want to see everybody that is currently on right now share this page. I want to see the numbers go up. I want to see the engagement go up. But on top of sharing the page, while we're live, I need y'all liking and sending hearts and commenting and things like that because it's all a part of engagement. So I need y'all doing all of that on top of sharing the page while we're live because it gets us more exposure to the media world. So make sure
Yep,
y'all
yep.
do that. But while we getting started, let's hit that beat.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, hey, hey.
Okay.
Y'all know how we do. We taking it back to the 90s.
All right.
Come on, come on. In the place to be.
Yeah.
It's Robin Mike inside. Come on,
yeah.
come on.
Oh,
Just share the
oh.
page. Hey.
Just share that page.
Share it.
Come on, come on.
Share that page.
Come on, come on.
Share that page.
Share it.
Everybody in the front. Come on. Now,
Share that page.
Everybody
Share it.
just share that page. Everybody
All
on
the
east
thick
side.
chicks.
Share that page.
Go
Share that page.
Everybody on the west side. Just
Share that page.
Come on.
Just share that page.
Share the page is Robin, Mike, and Ty. Don't ask, don't come with no reply. We is the hottest for the 2 to the 3. New year, you wanna try to be me, but I'm coming through the freestyle off the top of the dome. When I come through, everybody know it's on. It's Robin, Mike, and Ty, and all we want you to do is reply. Come on, come on, come on.
Share that page. Just share that page.
Everybody in the front now.
Share that page.
Come on,
Just share that page.
Come on, people in the back. Come on, come on.
Share that page. Just share that page.
Everybody on the east and the west, just
Share that page. Everybody just share that page. That's bars.
Yeah.
Bars.
2 Angel.
That's bars.
Yes,
That's
yes.
absolutely bars.
Definitely.
All right, I'm with it. I'm all hype now. I'm all hype now.
And I just
Got it. I got my. Yeah, I'm hyped now. So we talking about The Best Man, the
Yep,
final
yep.
chapters. Before we get into that, just a little background. This movie, we kind of grew up with this cast, right? So I was really happy that they took us into kind of, we've gotten older, they've gotten older, you know, where they are as, you know, as we've matured and changed and they've matured and changed. So I was really appreciative to this series for doing that for us, because we've been rocking with The Best Man since Harper got hung over the side of a building. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah, he did.
He had to go back.
So we've been rocking with them a long time. We watched Harper and Lance's relationship fall apart. We watched Lance and Harper's relationship get back together. You know what I'm saying? We watched Mia die. We watched them have children. Like, so we've been rolling with these characters.
We invested.
Yeah, I was fully invested in this story. Like, I want to know. One thing didn't happen that I wanted to see happen, but they alluded to it, so it made me okay.
Mia and Harper, not Mia, Nia Long and Harper getting
Jordan,
getting busy.
Like, so, they've been teasing that on us for many, many years, and that still never happened. But they alluded to it, so I was okay with that. But the reason I want to dive into it is because there's two different sides of this dynamic that we're going to discuss. So we're going to do this in 2 different weeks.
Okay.
We're going to talk about this for the next 2 weeks, this week and next week.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the relationships and the friendships.
Okay.
Because there's 2 different sides to this story. So you have the couples, and then you have the friend dynamics the friend relationships that's in it, because even those evolved.
Right.
None of those girls liked each other.
None. Yeah.
Think about it.
the
None of them.
beginning?
Yeah.
None of them liked each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, literally, none of them liked each other.
go all the
There
way
was
to
a
the
time
bottom.
where Shelby couldn't even be in a room with Murch's wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a time when Jordan and Robin couldn't even be in a room together.
Right.
And now they having, girls outings and things like that. So
Right.
there's 2 different sides of this I want to talk about. But I'm going to give it like 2 seconds and let our audience tell us which one y'all want first. Do y'all want, and I want y'all to put in the comments, put relationship or friendship.
Yeah,
and I'm going to watch this for a minute because I want to know which ones y'all want us to dive into first.
Right.
So if you want us to talk about the friendships within this movie first, say friendship. If y'all want us to talk about the relationships in this movie, put relationships. I'm watching the comments. Highest number of comments win. Let me know whether y'all want us to talk about the friendships first or the relationships first.
Yep. While we're waiting on that, I definitely got to say one quick thing. I got to give congratulations to my baby and our intern.
It's Disney time.
Yeah.
I'm going to Disney.
Right. She's going to be working or interning for Disney Culinary. So she'll be out in Disney cooking up something.
I'm going to
making
Disney.
her treats.
I'm going to Disney.
Yeah.
So
What's up,
the people have spoken. They want us to dive into those relationships
Okay,
first.
let's do it.
Y'all y'all decided to go hard first. Okay. All right. Well, the people have spoken.
Start off.
They want us to dive into them relationships first. And literally, it's unanimous. Like, there's not even one person that said they wanted the friendships first.
Okay.
So, by unanimous decision, we are talking about the relationships within this movie.
Okay.
So, the first relationship, we got to start it off where the movie started it off.
What?
The first relationship I want to talk about is Q and Shelby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Because it's the to be honest with you, it's a good one to start because it's honestly the least complicated.
Right. They're the same person.
They're the exact same person.
Right,
yeah.
And they had been, Lance even said it during the movie, they had been in this situationship for 15 years.
Right.
They'd been sleeping together. They'd been messing around. Shelby found out that he was marrying old girl and lost it completely. And ladies, we've all been there. Find out our sneaky link done got a girlfriend and we ready to go tear things
a
up.
whole
but
fiance.
here's my thing on that about that though. I felt like no, you had your opportunity. You had your chance. Now
She didn't, though.
see,
She didn't though.
she had plenty
She
of opportunity.
she had plenty
plenty
of
of opportunity. If she wanted
No.
to put that down,
All that effing they was doing. She had
Well,
plenty
because
of opportunity.
you remember even Quentin said it to her, like, you never gave me you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see you.
Right.
I saw you clearly.
Right,
But
right.
you never voluntarily gave me you. You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
how else was they supposed to spell it out? I mean, they like you said, we done been on this journey with them. I felt like like, dang, I thought the movie was gonna come on and they was gonna be together, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be marrying Shelby too. I did too.
When it first came on, I thought that's what who it was.
Because you got to remember the last time we saw him, he was, fellas, I'm getting married.
Right.
You know, and he had just did that thing with Shelby. He was like, what if we really tried this? You remember that's how the last movie ended. Now, what if we really tried this? What if we really gave this a shot? So for 15 years, they did this whole situationship thing.
But they was perfect for each other because they both was like this crazy just infatuation that they had for each other. Not only that, they both they talk junk and they both in their own right felt like, oh, I'm the it in whatever relationship. I gotta be the it factor, and it's just crazy to watch. And you see a lot of relationships just like that. You got two people in their own rights. I'm that deal.
I'm that deal.
Then you meet somebody else is that deal. That's a challenge. You like, hold on, you can't outdeal the deal.
So I will say their relationship was the one I was the most proud of in the movie. I was the most proud to watch those two together because, like you said,
why their relationship was the most toxic.
You think
their relationship was not toxic?
Seriously,
their relationship was not toxic.
It was the most toxic.
Okay, how?
Okay. First of all, they only got together. Remember, what's light-skinned name? What's his name in the show? Q. Right. Okay, Q bad-mouthed her when she was with old boy. Talked about how she wasn't good for him.
How she was crazy.
She was
because only Q could handle her. Like Merch couldn't handle Shelby. That don't mean
they weren't toxic. Next thing, when the movie started, they were going through their makeup to breakup. She throwing stuff out and all of that. Remember, she was on a talk show talking about how bad their relationship was.
No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. No.
They did a before the movie started, they did a little run through.
Ty, you should have rewatched it. You should have rewatched it because that's not what happened. Right. What happened in that scene was she found out that Q was getting married. She tried to avoid the cameras through a fit. And she went to his office going ham when she found out that he was engaged.
Toxic. Then she's not even invited to the wedding. She come to the wedding anyway.
She came to get her man.
She came to the wedding, seduced him to sleeping with her.
Wait, she did not. Don't act like she locked Q down and made him. No. Q laid his behind right there and gave her the business. And he actually said, it's something you do to me.
Right.
He told her when they were in the airport, he like, the sounds I make, the things you do to me. Like he's like, you do something to me.
And then she came to the bachelor party. Wasn't invited.
No, she hired a professional to teach her their moves.
She didn't hire the professional.
Yes, she did. She bought out the spa to hire her. She said, I will give you all of this, but this is what you have to do for me.
She got old girl to teach her how to do. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just naming the toxic stuff.
I don't see toxic in this.
Yeah, their relationship was super toxic. And then she left. And he had to come to the airport after leaving his fiance.
His fiance wasn't good for him to begin with.
And they talked.
That was a power move. It was a power move.
The relationship was still started off. It was the most toxic out the whole movie.
Nah, I don't agree with everybody. I think their relationship was honestly the most genuine out of everybody. Because and we'll expound a little more throughout the show, but the reason I say theirs was the most genuine is because theirs was the only relationship in the whole thing that I know what I'm walking into. You know what you're walking into. I'm not trying to change you. You're not trying to change me. Everybody else was trying to change each other.
And here's
everybody else was trying to change each other.
And here's the most toxic of that relationship. The little girl was Q.
Now that was toxic.
She didn't tell him.
That was toxic and wrong. That was toxic.
That's the only part.
That was toxic and wrong. You went 10 years. And here's the funny thing. Us as fans knew that was Q's baby.
I'm just mad. I'm just mad they didn't keep the continuity the same. Because when she first showed that kid on the
Shut up, Mike. We're not talking about the continuity, okay? We're not going to talk about the brown-skinned kid and then that girl came out light bright, almost white, okay? We're not talking about that.
Okay, anyway. But
they had to get a light-skinned girl. They
Yeah,
weren't
I
gonna
mean-
have them two yellow bellies with a dark skin.
So we
baby.
got a comment from Vaughn, and it says theirs was the most genuine because they loved each other and stayed together through it all.
I mean, first of all, I think this. It never. I'm glad it happened, but it never should have happened. First of all, that was Merch's girl first.
Right.
And
Oh,
that should
absolutely.
have been
Absolutely.
off limits.
Yeah.
To begin
Absolutely.
with. So I don't
However,
care.
Merch, there was nothing about Merch that could, until he became an MMA fighter.
Right.
But there was nothing about Merch that could have handled Shelby.
No, he wasn't.
Shelby would have, like Q's daddy said it at the beginning, like she would have had your balls in
Yeah.
a vice grip for the rest of your life. Like Merch did not have the
You gotta know what your line
to handle.
Yeah.
He was not in
And then,
Shelby's
nah,
lane.
nah.
Q, on the other hand, Q could look Shelby dead in the face and
Hey,
tell her shut the hell
and
up
go sit down
and go sit
somewhere.
down
You
somewhere,
like,
and
that's
Shelby be like, you know what, I'm gonna go
Yeah,
on over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and women like Shelby need that. Women that, you know, notorious, you know what I'm saying? They need somebody that's gonna look them dead in the face. And quite honestly, it's the only thing that we respect. And I
Yeah.
say we.
Right.
It's
I was
the
a-
only thing that we
I
respect.
was a big fan of Q. I knew something was off. I was like, dang, what's Tay Diggs' name? Real name?
Harper.
I was like, Harper, it's something wrong. Like this ain't the Q I know.
Yeah, I was
The
with
Q-
Harper on that one,
like
too.
The very, I'm like,
Because
hold
he
on.
came out all changed. and
Yeah, I was
I'm
with
like,
Harper, too.
nah,
Namaste.
And then I saw why he was trying to be like, nah, that ain't the Q I know.
So the next comment says Q and Shelby worked through their issues and changed to become better spouses despite all the wrongs they did to each other.
didn't
And that's the
work
truth.
through no
Yes, they
issues.
did.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
they
worked through-
did.
What issue
Q
did
and
they
Shelby,
work through to
Q
get
and
together?
Shelby, no, through their marriage, Q and Shelby both evolved. Q and Shelby, like you literally through the series watched Q and Shelby evolve.
Individually.
No, they evolved together. Even the conversations they went to having together. Like Q finally, like it was a point where Shelby was like, I can't lose you. Like I can't do this without you.
Yes.
You're the only person I've ever loved. Like for real. And then even Q had that kind of come to Jesus moment where he
Right.
was like, you know, she the only person that could have ever got me to actually get married. Like even when he was doing the business deal, he like, I left Zia Mora at the altar. Like you gotta come correct. And like my wife came correct. I left one of the baddest chicks in the game at the altar for the baddest chick in the game.
Right.
Yes, they individually got themselves
No,
together.
they
didn't
evolved
have
together.
a marriage conflict.
No, they evolved. Their marriage evolved their individual
But they wasn't
personalities
married.
together.
Their sex life maybe involved their individual relationship.
No, I'm talking
together,
about. I'm
but
talking
they
about
wasn't
after they
married.
got married.
once,
Ty.
like once,
Yeah, after they
I'm
got
talking about
married.
after they got married, their relationship,
But they didn't have
they
an issue.
evolved. They evolved as people through their
Here's
marriage,
the two
like
issues
through
that-
their
Hold on.
situation
Here, I'm about to point
together.
them out to you. Here's the two issues that they had. Q was going through this whole thing with his health, and Shelby was trying to be there for him, and he wasn't having it.
And he still didn't have it
Wait,
throughout
hold
the
on,
whole
hold
movie.
on. And then, well, he changed at the end, towards the end. And then she was having issues mentally because she wasn't the it factor no more at her job.
But
She
that
wasn't
was
young
with her job.
and
That
hot,
wasn't within their relationship.
But she still brought that to the house because
No, she
of
did
how she
because they
treated
was
him.
still banging every day.
Oh, yeah, they
at
sex
their
life
house.
was healthy,
and
but
Q,
that ain't just the
and
only
Q was
thing, though.
like, oh, I don't know if I could do this.
But that's not the
She
only thing in
wanted
their
all the
relationship.
No, that
time.
wasn't
That wasn't the
that
only-
wasn't
But
the
they
only
really
thing in their
did have a
relationship.
relationship
Nah.
problem to the end when Q got sick and
No,
she was trying to help him be better.
They worked through the thing with his father together. They
Right.
worked through her insecurities
Yeah,
with
you
going
missed
on
that
that
part.
talk show together. They worked through Q's illness together. They worked through situations with their daughter together. Like Q and Shelby, hands down,
They had
I'm
a
gonna
handful of
have to.
things.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to
they-
say I was the most proud of Q and Shelby as a couple.
I agree with that.
So what's the next couple?
The next couple I want to address, and not necessarily a couple, but because it was his character arc, I want to address just Lance.
Lance is
the football player.
No, and I just Lance
he
because
had a relationship in the movie too.
well, I want to discuss his character arc because in the movie his relationship was what healed him ultimately, but that's why I want to discuss.
Not his relationship with Mia or the relationship with the chick at the end, he had the relationship between him and all of the skanks that he was messing around with.
Okay, but that's what I'm talking about his character
okay.
arc. Follow along, Ty. That's what I'm talking about Lance's. Like, I want to discuss Lance's character arc because Lance was hurt.
Very much.
You know, Lance was going through a lot of hurt, and Lance was acting out in his hurt. Like, he was completely wilding out. He was completely acting out, and he was banging everything. They like, you had that vasectomy. He like, eh. They like, well, at least you strapping up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Lance was out here reckless.
He was wild.
Lance was out here completely reckless after he lost. He wasn't raising his kids. Jordan was. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was out here completely reckless.
So, like, for me, like, he coming from that hurt place, they went to go get him. He was wilding in his own pit. He stuck up in the house. They went and got him. So
he wasn't wilding in pity.
No, I'm saying, like, when they first showed up, they was like, why don't you think about coming to X, Y, and Z?
Right.
So his homeboys went to go get him. He was chilling. He ain't
Right.
he, you know, once like he said, y'all asked me to come here. So all this stuff, this wilding out that I'm doing, this, that, and the other, I'm out here now. So
But he was wilding out before the
So you got to
before
remember,
the party, they came to his spot and he was wilding
to his
out.
hotel room.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
So you got to remember, Q in his hurt went back to what was familiar to him, because before Q decided to settle down with Mia, that's
was
who
a
Q
thing.
was.
Right.
Lance.
I mean,
Lance.
Lance. I'm sorry,
I
Lance.
got you, I got you.
Before Lance decided to settle down with Mia and get
Oh,
married,
yeah.
that was who
Who he-
Lance
yeah,
was.
yeah.
So
He was the
Lance
man.
reverted back to.
Old Lance.
Well,
college Lance.
I want to use a computer term. Lance reverted back to the operating system that he knew worked
Right.
before this one
Update.
crashed. You know what I'm
Before the
saying?
updates,
He
before the
reverted back
firmware.
to back to the last operating system that worked for him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so he reverted back to college 20-something-year-old Lance that had broads and booty everywhere. And his reasoning behind it was, I don't want to feel that type of love for nobody ever again. So I'd rather just have frivolous sex and wild out than to ever let
Fall for
anybody
some-
get
right.
close enough to me for me to be able to get hurt like that again. And that was something that I could resonate with.
Yeah. Me too.
That was something that I could completely understand. I think I've given my testimony before that after my dad died, I went to a broken state. I went and although, you know, it wasn't a romantic relationship, it was still kind of the only man that I felt like for real had my back, for real rode for me. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Protected me and everything. And I had lost that. So I wanted to, I had 3 whole years of my life where I reverted back to to operating systems too. And I went into, ain't nobody getting close enough to me to hurt me.
Right.
Nobody. Nobody. Ain't nobody
opportunity.
getting that opportunity, that power, nothing to get close enough to hurt me. So anybody, and it's funny because I said this to one of my coworkers earlier. Me and her was laughing. We talk about everything, and I said, listen, if you ever run into anybody that say they met me between 25 and 28, completely walk away from them. Like, don't have a conversation with them.
That was before you were delivered.
Don't ask them nothing about me, because the person that they know, if you met me between 25 and 28, the person that you know was listen. Look, you don't know me. I'm completely erasing you from the records. You've been striked from the records. I've already filed the paperwork.
You're out of here.
You know what I'm saying? Period. I've already filed the paperwork. It's been approved. If you met me between 25 and 28, you do not exist. Right. And I know it's a few people watching right now that met me between 25 and 28. I'm sorry. And especially if you didn't last past 28, like, now if you lasted, you know what I'm saying? If I kept communication with you past my, you know, starting to be healed portion, worthy. You know what I'm saying? But if you if you met me and fell off between 25 and 28, all I was out to do was hurt you. That was it. That was all I was out to do.
I mean, I understand where he coming from because it's just like that love thing. It hurt, and then you be like, you know what? I'm not about to be vulnerable no more. I'm not about to give my all, put myself out there. And then for him, he lost his
everything.
Everything.
He lost both his loves.
Yeah, he lost everything.
Like, and even Harper said it, like, you know, you lost Mia and retired from football all at the same time.
Right.
Like, you like maybe you should have played a couple more seasons. You know,
That's
something.
why he tried to go back to the league and play
because he was trying to last
what
function and operating system
Yep.
again, but. He all at once, like his whole world crumbled, and now you got these 4 babies, and you like, I don't even know what to do with them, like, cause you got to remember, Lance was a professional football player. Lance wasn't raising them kids.
No, that was all Mia.
That was all Mia. Lance wasn't home enough to raise
But my
them
thing
kids.
is, like, and
Ask Brady. That's what him and his wife's issue was. That's why they ended up divorced. Cause she like, you went back to work. And I'm still at home raising these kids. Like,
she wasn't raising them either.
But my point is, a professional football player is not at home raising kids.
Right.
So Mia died. I lost football. Now I'm home looking at these 4 little people going, what y'all
right.
But see, in that and see in that with his position, and I know we'll get to the friendship later. He had a support system, a hell of a support system. But in that moment, instead of, for me, if I had the money and the resources that he had from his profession, take your kids, hire you a nanny, or hire you somebody,
he probably did
and
have a
travel
nanny.
the world and just travel with your kids. It's plenty of stuff that you can do.
That's what he was doing. He had a nanny.
And then Jordan stepped up and stepped in. Their godmother stepped up.
Because if
and
you
stepped in.
think about it, in the whole movie, you only saw 2 of his kids, the 2 oldest ones.
You saw the youngest 2 when they retired his jersey.
Yeah.
But other than that,
where
like
were they at
the
time?
characters in the thing were the oldest 2,
But
Faith and LJ.
Right. My point is that he had enough money not to be sitting around in the position mentally that he was. Like, you had enough money.
But money is not the cure to what he was going through.
Right. I mean, I just
like
for
money.
Me it would have been
money did not cure the hurt that Lance felt. Money did not cure the emptiness that Lance felt. And because think about it, Booty could have cured that too, but that didn't cure it either. Like Lance,
traveling didn't cure it either.
It made it worse.
I get it. You love somebody that hard. You know, it's a soft blow, but I wouldn't have been sitting.
But it wasn't until somebody stepped in and didn't treat him like Lance Sullivan, the pro football, Russian yard winner, and you know what I'm saying? It wasn't until somebody stepped in and didn't treat him like he was used to be treated.
Treat him like a regular person.
Lance was used to people fawning over him. Lance was used to women immediately dropping the draws for him. You know what I'm saying? Lance was used to that. But that wasn't gonna heal Lance. It wasn't until Lance ran into the one person that was like, sorry, you need to be healed though. And she saw the hurt in Lance, because you remember when she ran into him on the resort and she said, maybe you will find what you lost. Right. You look lost. That's exactly what she told me. You look lost. Right. And she wasn't talking about his villa.
Right.
You look lost.
That was a nice little nugget in there.
Yeah, like, and he had to pause for a minute. And when she went on that first run with him and he opened up to her and she listened as a person, not as somebody trying to, give him the draw. Mm-hmm. She wasn't trying to come up. She wasn't trying to get in his pockets. She wasn't trying to sleep with him. She saw hurt in Lance. And that was what kind of started to bring him around. And then after he came out of falling in the booty regularly, then he went through this whole thing of, now I need to figure out where my passion is. Like, I've lost my passion.
Right. He lost himself. He should have.
Like Lance spent the whole series trying to find Lance.
Right. Yep.
Like the relationship aspect in this with Lance was between Lance and Lance.
Right. And I mean, and there is a lot of different things that you could look at that and say, okay, that's why he is that's why he take on in certain situations, because you got to think Lance even during that, he stayed prayed up. He believed in.
He even while he was out here philandering was like, God ain't happy with me.
Yeah, you know.
He was like, God ain't happy with me.
He was in touch, so it wasn't that. So it was like you said, it was just him being lost in that.
Yeah. So but that's why I wanted to talk about that, because that relationship was Lance and Lance. Like there was like, yeah, he ended up finding somebody that he fell in love with. Yes, but that was secondary.
Yeah.
You know, that was a back shadow to what the main relationship dynamic was, because this is something I tell people, and we're all film majors, you know, we're all film professionals. I tell people all the time, and it was something that I had to teach my husband, every movie has a love story. And the reason they do it like that in Hollywood is because love is the one thing that transcends age, it transcends race, it transcends gender. So I don't care what movie, and this is just me giving y'all a nugget on how to watch movies now. I don't care what movie you watch, find a love story in it. Whether it's somebody and their dog, or somebody and their sister, or whether it's a romantic love, there is always a underlining love story in every movie. Mm-hmm. Every movie, there's an underlying love story.
So we need to, okay, so the next relationship, let's talk about Q and his cheating wife.
Q and his
cheating wife? Mm-hmm. You mean Harper and his cheating wife?
Oh, well, Harper.
Oh, okay. You know what? I've been waiting on this one, and I was gonna wait till last. I want to. Can we do this one last? Can we do this one last? Sure. And the reason I want to do this one last is because I'm not, ladies, y'all about to be mad at me. Y'all about to be real mad at me. And I don't care, because I'm gonna say what I said. But can we do that one last? Yeah. I want to
so
let's break into Jordan for a minute. Because I want to spend some time on Harper and Robin. I want to spend some time on them too.
But Jordan was
because you got to understand,
she was a workaholic.
But Jordan, the reason I want to transition from Lance to Jordan is because they were battling the same problem but opposite sides of it.
Not really. Jordan really wasn't trying to find herself. She just needed to make time for herself.
Nope. I need you to look at it from, listen,
she just didn't have time.
Let me tell you why I understand Jordan and why I understand the whole thing Jordan was going through. I had somebody look at me the other day, and they were just talking to me about, the things I'm into and the things I do. And he finally looked at me and said, "When do you sleep?" Mm. And I had to laugh. Like, I literally laughed, and it took me a minute to answer that question. And the reason it took me a minute to answer that question is because I go to work full time, and I don't just have a job where I get to punch a clock and punch out and go about my business. I'm the boss. You know what I'm saying? So I'm responsible for people all the time. Then, we have JOO, which is a passion and a love of mine. So it's going to get everything I got. And then I'm in school full time. So, that's taken from me. And then I'm a wife. And then I'm a mom. I'm a daughter. So when my mom calls, I got to move. I own an insurance agency. I own a floral company with my mother. I just have so much going on that when somebody's like, "Robin, when do you sleep?" it's kind of funny to me because I have to still sleep. Like, I have to force sleep. I came in here today, I got off work, and before I came to the studio today, I laid across my bed, and I literally just laid across my bed because I just needed to breathe for a minute.
Second, yeah. Relax, relate, release.
And fell asleep. Fell asleep. But one of the things I love about my husband is he knows what time the show start. You know what I'm saying? He knows when to be like, "Hey, it's time to sound check. You need to get up and get to the studio." You know what I'm saying? So, but I accidentally fell asleep, because I was burning. I'm burning out.
That Jordan didn't have. She didn't have nobody like your husband, and she didn't make time to.
That's why
to find one, because I'm pretty sure. I mean, she was a beautiful woman. She worked in the industry. I'm pretty sure if she wanted to have,
she was an executive, and she needed time to find herself.
But what I was gonna say is the relationship. The reason I said it's similar to Lance's, but on different sides of the spectrum, was the relationship Jordan had to find was the self-love relationship.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Jordan put everything into her career.
Yeah.
Jordan put everything before. Jordan was going blind.
Right.
Jordan put everything before Jordan. Jordan put her drive before Jordan. Jordan put her passion before Jordan. Jordan was driven to the point of making herself physically ill.
Yes.
So Jordan's love story in this whole thing wasn't the dude she ended up dating and found out that he was funding private prisons. It wasn't a shaman dude at the beginning. That wasn't Jordan's love story. And I quite honestly, it wasn't Harper. Jordan's love story was finding out how to love Jordan. I have to be able to walk away from this. That's why even at the end, she was like, no, I am happy. I'm doing some consulting. I'm in a good place. And even with you, Harper, I cannot touch you until you heal. Because Jordan had finally came to a point where she was choosing Jordan
first. Yeah, and that's why I say I don't think Jordan had a problem with herself. I just think Jordan just put other things before her.
That's a problem with yourself, though. Jordan was making herself. Shelby walked in and was like, if you can't see me, you need to go to the doctor. Jordan was going blind.
Overworking herself. But if you think about it, plenty of people do that, and mostly it's men that do that, put their careers or their family.
That don't make it healthy because a lot of people do it. Hell, if a lot of people get to committing suicide, it doesn't make it a good thing.
It doesn't make it healthy, but it also doesn't mean that she's okay. So I would say a Jordan was ignoring her personal needs for her aspirations.
And even her assistant told her that. Yeah. Her assistant was like, you're not taking care of you.
Right. I get it.
Where I want to kind of pivot a little bit is why Jordan and Harper got each other. Like why Jordan and Harper, and this is how I'm going to segue into Harper and Robin. Jordan and Harper understood each other because Jordan and Harper both operated with a certain amount of drive. Jordan and Harper both operated with a certain amount of, it's not enough and I want more. I respected that in both of their characters because it's never supposed to be enough.
But see, here's my thing about that, and that's good. But every time you look at that situation where somebody that's really, really driven and they really, really focus and they want more, something in their lives is suffering. It's taking a back seat. Like, it's either going to be a relationship or themselves.
Right.
Because you can't give that much to this without, it's a scale.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
It's hard to balance that. And if you're a person that's like, no, I gotta.
Right.
Then you're not paying attention to this.
But at the same time, I don't think that you should fault somebody for not wanting to settle either.
Oh, no.
I don't think it's not a crime for enough not being enough.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
But then
I don't know. I think at some point saying I'm not going to settle becomes an excuse. Because there comes a time where you have to prioritize whatever it is you're doing and your family. If your career aspirations is never enough, then truly you're actually treating that as your guide.
So let me tell you what really pissed me off, and I'm jumping into Harper right now. I told you I rewatched it so we could, I could really discuss some things for the show. And I was watching it last night and my husband walked in and I was sitting in bed and I was watching it. And it was the part where Harper wanted to buy, the house on the Upper West Side and, the moving on up, a large 4-bedroom, he wanted to give more. He said he wanted to buy his queen a castle.
Right.
And one of the things that pissed me off, and I'm talking from a good old healthy piss off place to the highest level of festivity is what my aunt used to say. One of the things that really pissed me off is Robin.
Okay.
Robin angered me because, oh my God, the audacity of him for wanting to buy you a nice big house and wanting to put your daughter in good schools. I'm sorry, you want to Black Lives Matter this thing and live in the projects and like the audacity.
You're wrong.
Hold on. Listen, here's the thing. it wasn't about the house and
right.
him buying this stuff. It was the fact that Harper would always make these decisions
by himself
without
right.
consulting her. And then when she did the same thing, he like, I ain't buying no store without me looking at it and this, that, and the other.
But Harper didn't make that decision without her. Harper fell in love. Harper fell in love with the house. Now, granted, Harper saw the house, fell in love with it, but. He was pissed off that she wasn't digging it. He was pissed that she wasn't digging it. But it ain't like he went and signed no papers, though. And what she wanted Harper to do was be out of state, talk to a ninja on the phone, and be like, all right, I'm going to go for it. That's bad business, man. That's bad business.
It may be bad business, but it's pretty much the same thing.
I got an example for you, Mike. Mm-hmm. We sat at my kitchen table and I was talking about a business deal with my husband, and you was kind of playing devil's advocate in the middle of that situation. Did you not look me dead in the face and was like, well, Robin, he just want to see the ROI in the business plan.
Right.
Before he go buy this building. Because that's actually exactly what I was trying to get him to do. I was trying to get him to throw 6 figures into something that I wanted to do.
Right.
And my husband looked at me and was like, I ain't throwing 6 figures into that until you tell me what the ROI is on this. And I was pissed because I thought he was supposed to write me a check. I thought we was supposed to be at the bank the next day. I'm not going to even front. I thought that I was supposed to have this conversation with my husband, and he was supposed to take me to the bank the next day and get me 6 figures because I wanted to do this. And Mike, playing devil's advocate at the table, was like, well, Robin, you got to understand. Right. Like, he don't look at stuff like that. You need to get him the numbers, and that's exactly what Robin tried to do to Harper. She called this man on the phone and was like, yo, check this out. You know how I be flaky on everything. You know, I don't want it to live on the islands. I don't want it to live in Africa. I don't want it to start this business. I don't want it to start that business. I don't want it to do this. Look, I've been wanting to be, you know how I be wanting to be all over the board. I done upped our contribution to charity without talking to you. Because keep in mind, he went to her and was like, hey, I noticed that you up the charitable contribution. Well, we making more money, and you didn't have that conversation with me. So even after all of that, she thought she was gonna be able to call him on the phone out of state and tell him to go spend $500,000 on a doggone business for one of her spur of the moment. Because keep in mind, this heifer had filled out an application to go work in Africa. Who was gonna run that business while you was working in Africa for 6 months?
You 100% right. But Harper did the exact same thing when he bought that house.
He didn't buy the house.
Well, when he was trying to buy the house, granted, she didn't come to him with the ROI numbers, but you got to think women buy things on emotions just as much as guys want to know the pure facts. He went out, met with the real estate agent or whatever, figured out everything for the house, figured out they could afford it. All they had to do was sign the papers, and the house was his.
But you don't do that without talking to your
Exactly. And then he came to his wife after he had really made the decision and was like, we got this house. And she was like, wait a minute. I'm involved in the community. I do all my community work here. I don't want to live outside the community. He was trying to do the exact same thing she did.
Check this out. Let me say something.
Whether it was a big house.
Let me say something.
And that house was worth way more than 6 figures for that.
Let me say something.
Business.
Let me say something publicly as a woman. Mm-hmm. And my husband is watching, so I want him to hear me and hear me good. Go buy me $1 million house. I am not gonna sit up here and whine about I don't feel like moving. I hate packing, because that's what that heifer said. That's what she said. I don't feel like moving. I hate packing. I want to be in the community that we serve. You mean the community that's currently being gentrified, which he said, the community that's currently being gentrified that don't have schools for our daughter, that don't have metal detectors.
But
I'm trying to change our zip code. I'm trying to change our daughter's education. I'm sorry, honey, if you want to go buy me $1 million house, I'm all for it, and you don't need my permission.
But here's the other thing that, $1 million house, maybe you won't have a problem with. Here's another thing why you should include your wife. Maybe she just didn't like that house and would like to be part of the situation and picking.
But here's the thing. You see, now you're putting words in her mouth, because she never said that. It wasn't like she came and was like,
but I'm just talking about the average woman.
My point is, it's not, but we're talking about the movie. And it's not like Robin said, you know what? I see where you're going with this. Mm-hmm. And, I dig where your head is, but let's find something we both can agree on and we both like. That's not what Robin said. Right. Robin literally went to, I don't feel like moving. I hate packing. I don't want to move. Community. I like the community. We work in this community. We do this in this community. I serve in this community. I get arrested at Black Lives Matter events in this community with my daughter.
But think about this.
With my daughter.
Okay. So Robin did say all of that about the house. You know what he said about the business? Nothing. And just didn't do it.
That don't make it right. But here
I know, that's why I'm saying they're pretty much the same thing.
Here's the thing that I feel like they both in both, however you look at it, let's take the materialistic thing out of it. Let's look at the fact that neither one of them have good communication skills in the marriage.
And they attorney told, their marriage counselor told them they sucked at communicating.
Let's take out the brownstone, let's take out the business. Find any type of decisions of that magnitude, no matter what it is or whatever it is. Where's the communication of getting your spouse's input on whatever?
Oh no, they both sucked at that. They both sucked at that. They both sucked at that.
That's where the thing is. It's just like nah, y'all both.
But so let me tell you what my beef was with Robin. Because I was so not team Robin at no point during this series. Like I hate to say it.
She got on my nerves too.
I was not team Robin, and ladies, I know this where y'all gonna be mad at me at, because I've been watching y'all little stuff on Facebook, and y'all justifying Robin and her ignorant ass behavior, and I'm sorry, I just was not team Robin. And let me break down why I'm not team Robin.
Give it to us.
First of all, like I said, the whole house thing was just a little ridiculous for me, because let's all be clear, it was not about the house. Because if it was about him not including her in the decision, she would have just freaking said that. She did not. That was not the issue. Robin was going through this spiritual journey by herself, you know what I'm saying, and expected everybody to bow to this spiritual journey and this walk she was on. And look, I'm all for you, whether it's God that you're getting closer to or whatever it is that you're getting closer to, I am all for that. But what I don't think it's fair is for you to think that everybody around you is supposed to bow to this journey because that's where you are. It's not fair. And I'm saying that from the movie, from personal life, from everything. It is not fair for anybody, Robin or anybody else, to think that somebody is supposed to adjust their entire life because of your journey.
And I definitely agree. I agree, but I don't have to. I don't expect to have to be into your world either. If I want to go on this spiritual journey,
you forgot about that.
I can walk away from. I don't expect you to be in, and I don't have to be in.
Right. But Robin was bending to whatever his name is, Harper, since the very first movie.
But there's a reason for that though too, Ty.
Whatever the reason was, because remember the very first movie, Harper cheated on Robin.
He was gonna cheat.
Man, he gave her.
He cheated-ish.
And then in this movie,
he was in the realm of cheating.
He was in the realm of cheating.
And in this movie, Robin, she pretty much went along with everything that Harper asked her to. Even the house. She ended up going with the house. Mm-hmm. It was all about Harper, his career, the whole 9 yards. She was following along. And
you want to know why?
Him.
You want to know why?
And finally, she found something that was a passion of hers. And he couldn't.
You want to know why?
Step back
you want to
know
why?
Passion
you want to know why?
You
want to know why? Because Robin's passion changed every 5 damn minutes.
And you want to know why?
Harper said that. Harper literally was like, "How do you expect me to just jump on board when your stuff is always on the fly?" Like her passion.
You trying.
She was trying to find herself.
But you 50 years old. Go find it somewhere else.
But she been supporting him since he was broke. He didn't have any money when they first got together.
Yep. So
at all.
But here's
No. Unfinished Business was doing very well when they first got together.
So
it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Harper started having money issues. Did you literally just walk clean in front of the camera? Harper started having money issues after Unfinished Business. Mm-hmm. When she was first with Harper, when Harper first proposed to Robin, Unfinished Business was on the Oprah bestseller because they went over it in the beginning of the movie. Unfinished Business had made the Oprah Book of the Month, and like it was literally about to blow up.
Right.
That's when she got with Harper.
I had to look at that. I don't know what the title of the book was or whatever, but
It was the one that they made
So here's the reason I want to go back to this. Jordan's issue was, you got to think about it. Your man's successful. Your man's friend.
Robin's issue.
Yeah, Robin's issue.
His whole team was successful,
and she was.
But she was the wife behind them.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, the reason why she was like trying to do these passion projects, trying to figure herself and where she fit in and this, that, and the other. She was the only one.
That didn't have a thing.
The only even the stripper. Now she's a teacher or whatever she was.
She was
principal.
a student. She's been a student.
No. She was the one getting them awards. Even in the
like
last
a principal or whatever.
She was running them schools.
Yeah, they
and
owned
one of
the
her
school.
One of her issues was she didn't feel adequate because Murch was an attorney, but for all intents and purposes, she was the one running the show.
But if you think about it, most housewives, because that's in essence what she was to a rich husband
with a bunch of hobbies,
right, do tend to try to find their thing, and they're gonna have a bunch of hobbies or whatever.
Well, you not gonna ask me to spend $500,000 to help you find your thing. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe that was her thing.
She called him on the phone.
Yeah, I don't agree with it.
She called him on the phone and thought he was supposed to drop $500,000 on her whim. I'm sorry.
But we gotta think. Okay, we're thinking about $500,000 in the terms of how much we make and how much we worth.
No.
If Harper is worth, I don't know how much let's say he was worth $50 million. You telling me you can't spend $500,000 on your wife?
My point is, what she don't understand is Harper, and that was another thing that they had kept touching on during the series. Harper was in a build generational wealth mindset at that point. Mm-hmm. So Harper wasn't willing to toss around. Like Harper was in, let's build now. You know what I'm saying? Let's put down roots and get this house. You know what I'm saying? Some real estate. Let's get this house. Let's build here. I want to write a deeper book. And then he kept arguing with his agent about, generational wealth and building wealth. And so, no, I'm not going to throw away $500,000. Y'all, see what y'all
it ain't throwing away. It's investing in your wife.
Let me tell you what y'all forgetting. Y'all are forgetting the fact that she had already filled out paperwork trying to go to Africa for 6 months. You do not get to go to Africa for 6 months with no brand new business. That was Harper's whole point with Robin. Like, you be all over the place.
Well,
Robin be all over the place. And then, wait a minute. Let me remind you about the business she was trying to start. See, that's the part y'all missing. Let me remind you. She was not trying to open a restaurant. Robin was trying to open up a fancy ass soup kitchen because it was a pay what you can. But Robin was literally trying to spend $500,000 on something that we were constantly gonna be in the hole with, something that was never gonna produce wealth because she wanted to come in and pay what you can. But that was the whole business aspect.
That as a guy, like Mike said, as a man, that doesn't matter. You have to support her, especially all those years you wrote a book, you cheated on her, now twice with the same chick. She stuck with you. She deserved her $500,000.
Well, let's set the record straight. He never cheated.
He cheated.
He didn't cheat.
He didn't cheat. Yeah, you making out with this chick. And not on top of, did you make out with her? I still let it be cool that y'all still be best friends, and I ain't got a problem.
That's definitely movie magic.
I'm supporting
definitely
you
movie
through
magic.
all your books.
It's a lot of movie magic in that whole
definitely movie
whole
magic.
game.
Y'all
definitely
act
movie
like
magic.
She didn't do nothing
because
through these years of
because Murch and
Harper.
Q should have been on site every time they saw each other. Robin and Jordan should have been on site every time that's movie magic.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
But since we in the movie magic,
and then we're acting like they were married. He got his money, most of the money, when they were married. Mm-hmm. So she, out of respect, asked him to sign the lease and get
No,
$500,000.
she probably had shitty credit because she was so busy giving stuff away.
Well, that don't mean she couldn't have go right to the bank and take the money out.
Yeah, that's just stuff.
I think Harper was all about Harper. Everything was Harper.
He's selfish.
Yes.
I didn't like what I didn't like.
The only thing I didn't like about her is when she cheated with the guy,
the guy that owned the
flea
food
market.
stand,
Yeah,
the
the
flea
flea
market
market
food
guy.
stand.
Yes.
Your husband is a best-selling author, multimillionaire. You cheating on the guy with the food stand.
Because he supported her.
Shut
Yep.
up.
He supported
Shut
her.
up.
Supported her.
Again, movie magic.
He supported
Again,
her.
movie magic.
He supported her.
Again,
That means
movie
more than-
magic.
that means
Let me
more
tell
than
you
money.
another bit of movie magic.
That he supported
Let me tell y'all another bit of movie magic, and it's another reason why I'm 100%.
Oh, we got to save it to next week. Give your final.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Well, look, we're gonna start off the
it's
show
getting
next
heated.
week going
You
back
jumping right
into
in.
Harper and Robin because I got some more stuff I need to get off my chest because we ain't even gotten to the fact that this heifer tried to take his baby and move to Africa. But we gonna go there next week.
for sure.
We're gonna dive into that a little more next week, man. I knew this one was gonna go. Like
Right.
I knew we were gonna get into this one. I knew it was gonna be some strong standpoints on this one. So listen, y'all make sure y'all come back next week and holla at us.
We'll
I
try
don't
to.
necessarily know if we can we do a final
No.
thought on this one.
No.
I'm like, I don't think
Yeah,
there's
I think
necessarily a
next
final
week.
thought because part 2 is next week.
Right,
so there
right.
is nothing final right now. We're gonna finish this up next week, man. I appreciate y'all for kicking it with us. Make sure y'all brush up on the movie throughout the week. Make sure y'all rewatch the series this week. So when we come in next week, we can all come in
Hot and
hot.
fresh.
We can all come in hot.
Right. And ready.
Look, because I want y'all to pay attention to some things and even some stuff we talked about today. Make sure y'all get into the comments throughout the week. Make sure y'all send us inboxes throughout the week after y'all start rewatching and tell us whether y'all thought we was on point this week with some of the points we were making about these relationships. But we're going to dive right back into this next week. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I've been waiting to get some stuff off my chest when it came to this movie. It's an amazing movie, an amazing black cast. I'm really excited. I was so excited to see that they took it to this level. So shout out to that all-star Black Hollywood, Black Magic cast. It was absolutely amazing. The directors, I'm going to get into some stuff next week about the camera angles that y'all may have missed, some of the zoom-ins that y'all may have missed, just to kind of give y'all some insight from a filmmaker's point of view on what I think the director was trying to show and convey in that message. So we're going to dive real deep into this thing.
Get it.
So I'm excited. We will see y'all next Wednesday. Thank you for watching Just Our Opinion with Robin.
Mike.
And Ty.
Deuces.
Peace. Mute the mic.
Damn it.